Go. Hey, everybody. What's up? Welcome to Cafe BTW, a morning gaming podcast. Very early morning. Our guests are unhappy about that. As you can see, we have a special show today. It's a Destiny reunion show. We're going to talk about a bunch of things and go into that, but I just want to introduce you to our guests. First, on the bottom right of the screen is Scott Anders, aka Scott. Scott, what's up? How you doing? Thanks for coming to the show. And to his left is Adam. We used to call him Adam the Intern, but I'll still call him Adam the Intern, formerly of a Destiny podcast, of Nerfed. I think you were a part of Nerfed too, weren't you?
Yeah, early adapter. All the early adapters.
All right. Well, thanks. It's good, man. Thanks. I mean, I don't know. It's pretty crazy that this is the way we're doing the show, because back in the day, we could not do the show. Well, I guess we could do the show like this back in the day, but it was way different because Adam would drive from Irvine and meet us in the studio in North Hollywood. But Scott, I know you always enjoy podcasting in person. Do you think that's something that you like doing better than this? You don't like this? You don't like 2020 podcasting?
Are you starting with the hard-hitting question?
Yeah, I'm going right into it.
I mean, I prefer anything in person. I think it's better, but I mean, obviously the internet exists for a reason. Because of El Cogito, we gotta do what we gotta do.
All right, well, let's.
Would I prefer to sit in a room and smoke some blunts with you guys?
Well, I mean, that's one thing we can't do on a digital show. But why don't you guys give me a little bit of background on you, Scott? Tell us a little bit about yourself, sir.
Well, thank you, Andy, for having us on your podcast.
Cool. Of course.
It's Scott Anders, by the way. You never pronounced it right.
Have I ever pronounced it right? Maybe not.
No, never. I wouldn't want anything to change it.
Okay.
Shout out. Fourth person in the chat, Adam the Intern's beard.
Yes, it's huge. It's huge.
Very loud. That is a loud fucking beard, bro. Anyway, are you eating for two now? I store snacks in there. You know when you go in the movie theater, I don't put it in my pocket. I just hide my snacks in my beard. Is that where you put your craisins? That's what you put them. Yeah, you don't pay for popcorn. That's what you eat anymore. Yeah, like Andy said, my name is Scott. Andy and I had
Go way back.
collaborated on the Data Boys for a long time. We also had a Destiny podcast for, what, 3 years, 4 years?
I think it was 4 years. We'll get into that.
So we started playing Destiny day one. Well, the beta before day one. So, and now what's hilarious is I'm the only one playing the fucking game with you. So,
Are you the only one to play in the game?
I know Adam's not. He just said it. I know you're not because you're playing goddamn
I play a bunch of different.
Miles Morales.
I play a bunch of different games now. You know what I mean?
None of them are Destiny.
Well, we'll get into all the Destiny stuff, but yeah, I mean, I moved on from Destiny. I can't even imagine how long ago it was. I mean, listen, we started playing Destiny in 2014, right? 2014, 2013. That was when PS4 came out, and right now we have obviously the new release of the PS5. So it's actually pretty interesting that the first release or the first generation for the PS4, I think Destiny had come out like a couple of months after the launch, and that became the main game people were playing, right? That was like the main game that people were playing. Do you guys remember the launch? What do you remember about the launch?
Yeah, well, the Destiny came out a year after the new generation consoles came out. I only remember that because I had nothing to play up until Destiny came out. So I was playing Titanfall, I think, and Borderlands 2, which had came out long ago. But yeah, all I remember from the launch was the people that made Halo are making an RPG-style MMO game. And then it ended up not being an MMO game. Right? Isn't that what they said? They were like, oh, it's an MMO, but it's not an MMO.
I
Now,
I think it was supposed to be an MMO. Like they were supposed to make it that, but it never turned out to be that. I don't know, something like that.
who are they on that committee?
Well, before we go down memory lane, I want to talk about what do you guys think about? I have here the Xbox. Good morning, Desert Punk Tiger. What's up? Good to see you, man. It's been a while. I have the Xbox Series X and the PS5 came out last week. I need initial thoughts on both, or do you guys feel like they're equally, popular? And Adam, I'm gonna start with you because you're an Xbox fanboy. So give me a little bit of what you're thinking about Xbox on the release of Xbox.
Well, I've actually been anticipating this day for so long, man.
From an Xbox perspective.
From an Xbox perspective, of course.
Okay.
Just from a gamer's perspective, every time the new generation of consoles comes out, it's an exciting time because we know that there's going to be upgrades. We know there's going to be hiccups here and there, but the upgrades is what we're here for, and I am a slave to the new. So whenever that new drops, I need to
The
have
new? What do you mean the new?
that new. So the Xbox is the new right now, right? Because you can get yourself a new Xbox, but you have the new. You know what I mean? Like you can go to the store, you can buy anything.
From Avatar? What's that?
I don't know what it's from, man. I just use it. But I'm pretty excited, man.
Oh, Andy, you gotta turn somebody up. Check the chat there, buddy.
Oh God, how do I turn the volume up?
Oh, hello. No, I don't even think that's it.
That might be
Better?
it, because it's a microphone.
It is, but for some reason,
I have everything up all the way.
Oh, yeah, well.
Oh God, here we go with the audio problems.
Andy, this is your podcast, bro.
I know, but whenever I have guests on, it's like a pain in the butt.
is it gotta be on his end? It's gotta be on my end.
Just
All
move
right,
your
let's see.
mic closer to your mouth. Your every
I hear you guys fine.
I don't think it's this one, but hello.
Hold on a sec.
We're doing audio test.
He may not be selected. You guys should hear everybody. Oh God, we did this yesterday.
not really Andy and Adam movement.
Can you guys hear Scott, or are you guys having trouble hearing everybody?
All right, if I do this, does this fix everything? Am I ruining the show?
No, you're not ruining the show.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got the Yeti mic selected. It's this one right here. I've got it selected.
They're
Oh, it says that we're audible.
So
Oh,
I'm
really?
low as well. Well, whatever. Fuck it. I have nothing good to say anyway.
One second. I wonder because I have them pumped up. I have my desktop audio pumped up. I mean, hold on.
I don't think I
Do this every weekend, Ryan.
I don't have guest. I haven't had guests on in a while, but I don't know how to get the volume up.
Well, your audience is gonna have to read lips, dog.
Turn down my mic. Okay.
I wish I knew
How about that? How about that?
I don't want to throw out the wrong signs, you know what I mean?
I do hear them great. They sound wonderful. I know they care about me.
That's so sweet. Hello, chat.
Yeah, guys, I'm sorry. I don't know why I have the desktop audio up. You guys should be hearing them fine, just like I hear them. Hold on.
I wonder.
Whatever. We're gonna keep going.
Let's go. Let's keep rolling. Keep that roll.
Can you guys at least? I lowered mine. You guys could hear me fine now.
Yeah, I can still hear you pretty good. Yeah, actually.
Okay. How about now? A little better. Okay. Everyone is a little better. Good enough for me. All right. Keep going on your Xbox stuff while I do this. Are we really bridging it though? I mean, let's be honest. So now you guys don't hear them at all? Oh, God Christ. Didn't we? I didn't do anything, man. I don't know. I have all the settings right. I apologize. It really sucks. And we have 11 people here. Scott, what do you think about the PlayStation? Oh, fuck.
Okay, why are these things so gigantic? First of all, they're huge. There's not that many new games. I don't know. So
That's
I'm gonna
fair. That's very
I'm gonna
fair.
wait until my birthday, March-ish. We'll see. Because I can still play everything I want to play on my PS4 at this
Wait,
moment.
you guys hear them now? You guys hear them now? Did I fix it? Oh,
I think you
God.
fixed it.
Thank God. Fucking
Did you guys
Christ.
get my alien vagina joke?
Hey,
Did you
what
guys hear?
up?
So you guys hear everybody now? For Christ's sake, fucking shit. Okay, great. So I love this. All right, let's fucking go. All right, fucking shitballs. I'm so over this fucking audio bullshit. I do all this hard work to get guests on the show. Well, here they are. We're
Was
good
it
to
that
go.
hard?
I
You
don't.
know it.
I don't know, man. I'm trying my best. Well, okay. My personal opinion is that the PS5 is this huge boat that sits under my TV now. It's this fucking huge boat. Like I wasn't like we have gone backwards in the size of the console. We've now these consoles are huge because they're trying to make them like computers. You can't just make the consoles as small as they used to be. So now they're just getting bigger again. I do like the shit. I do like how the Xbox Series X is just very simple, and it is much smaller. But you look at the PS5, it's just
It is.
I don't know if I like the look of the PS5. Do you guys like this thing? How it looks? I don't know. To me,
So I gotta be honest, the disc version of it, I'm not a fan. I do though. I, however, do like the discless version. I think it looks way sleeker.
okay.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they're the same height. They're both super tall. Like, oh my god, they're way too tall.
So wait,
But it does look cleaner.
I will say this, like I'm playing the Spider-Man game and I'm like, okay, this game is great and all, blah 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 blah, but it's very linear. It's not as open world as I would think. It's kind of linear and
Spider-Man game.
I don't know if I
Oh, that's unfortunate. Because the
They're all
the
the
last
same. Every
one.
fucking Spider-Man game's the same.
Every
Well, did you play the Spider-Man game that came out by Insomniac Games on PS4? That one was not very linear. That one was huge. You could fly around everywhere. I mean, there was a storyline
Well,
that you could
I
not
bet
very
you
linear.
could.
That one,
Unlocked all that shit yet.
maybe there's a more open worldness to it later. I did like the Spider-Man though, and I am very jealous, Andy, that you are playing
It is
that
no.
Spider-Man game right now.
Listen, the Spider-Man is good. Did I crash your PS5 with the Spider-Man game? No, but Genzo, the audio works. Isn't that fucking great? This is great. I'm more excited about my audio on my fucking podcast working than my fucking PS5. But anyway, thanks guys. Sorry we had the hiccups in beginning, but let's get into like the reason we're here. The reason we're here is because we used to do a podcast together, and on the screen here I have a picture of our old logo, which was Nerfed, Nerf'd'. Nerfed, a Destiny podcast, which, Scott, you and I started maybe like a few months after Vanilla Destiny started, right?
That's correct.
And then this is literally 2 months or 3 months into a Destiny podcast. We got into E3. We only had 20 episodes, and somehow we talked our way into E3. And this is us with Deej, who is a well-known community manager who you guys said now has left, right? Has left Destiny.
Yes. Yeah, he left recently.
We had these awesome business cards. I remember those business cards, and he's holding it upside down here. But this is at E3 2014, I think, 2015. It might have been 2014. But yeah, look at Scott looking very happy. He's very, very happy.
It wasn't 8 in the morning.
It wasn't 8 in the morning.
And it was in person.
And it was in person. But
And it was.
But yeah, we did this podcast called the Destiny Podcast, and we were the third podcast, which I want to show you guys what I found here.
Andy, did we ever tell the story
We should.
about how we tried to copyright Nerfed? Did we ever tell that story?
Yeah, you should tell it. Let's tell the crowd. Oh, dude, thanks for the sub from Adam giving me the sub, dude. Thank you. Send that money directly to me on Venmo next time, okay?
You got it, man.
All right.
Subscribe to this.
But Scott, do you want to talk? So yes, originally our show was called Nerfed, a Destiny podcast, which you see here. We're wearing the Nerf shirts, which were freaking awesome. But what happened, Scott? Tell the crowd. Tell the 12 people.
Well, tell the 12 people. Yeah. I mean, I had the bright idea to name it Nerfed because I thought it was a cool name, and maybe it was. But
I agree, it was.
At a certain point, when we first started the podcast, we talked about how we were going to podcast for the length of Destiny. And we said we were going to do all 10 years because they said at first that they were going to do 10 years of Destiny. So we were like, okay, if we're going to do that, if we're going to have like some longevity, we might as well copyright the name. And so we got a lawyer, paid her handsomely. And,
yeah, we did.
Yeah, we paid her a lot. And we submitted all the materials. And everyone probably knows, Nerf is a gigantic company. It's a gigantic corporation.
Yes.
With a lot of power. And so we were like, oh my God, like if we can get this name copyrighted, then maybe, like this has happened before, right? Where people take, copyright names and then have to get them bought by people. So it was almost like a get rich quick scheme, which didn't work out ultimately because it was insane. So what happens, right, is like for copyright law, I don't know the exact specifics, been a long time, but they put out like a booklet or something every month of the list of the copyright asks, and then corporations can look through and make sure that there's no discrepancies. And the day before that we were going to get, it was like the day before.
We had to wait 6 months for it to go through, but then there was a month.
6 months.
But then once the government approved it, which they did, they approved our copyright.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then they said there's a month to file against it for some reason. They leave it open for a month for you to fight it if someone sees it or whatever. Literally, the day before we were about to lock in our copyright, Nerfed. They found.
If I'm remembering correctly, it was like 30 minutes before the deadline, wasn't it? It was like right there.
And
it was so last second.
So what they did was they filed to extend our copyright so they could look it over. So they got an extension. I think they actually got like a 30-day extension to look at everything. So then, Scott, that's when she called you, the lawyer at Hasbro, and was like,
Yes, Hasbro called me. That's
she
right.
didn't understand exactly what we were doing, right? She didn't understand nerfed meant
Right
like
about that.
a weak weapon. Like, so yeah, we're a small dinky dunk podcast for one game, and Hasbro wants to sue us.
We tried to fleece Hasbro.
We almost fleeced them though. We almost
fleeced
did.
them, bro.
We were so close. So what's
Could have finessed it.
what's really interesting on the back end of this is that if Scott and I would have gotten the copyright to go through, and then Nerf came to us after the fact, we could have said to them, "Sure, we'll take down our logo. Give us $1 million."
Yeah, if you pay us $1 million.
They would not have been able to stop us because we would have had the legal right of that copyright.
No, the U.S. government said that we had it. So.
Yeah, the U.S. government approved it. And here's the interesting thing. We did nerfed 'D, and no one had ever filed a copyright for that particular spelling. But we lost. Well, our lawyer said that potentially we could have won, but they would have just buried us in court fees and whatnot. But the Hasbro's
worth it.
But they were very nice. They gave us They gave us like 60 days to change the copyright and everything, right?
Yeah, or just to.
And that's when we decided to be Beta Boys Media, right? That's when we changed the name to Beta Boys Media.
Correct.
Which was really hard because when you're already like cemented into a name for a podcast and you have to rebrand in the middle of it all, that was a very stressful time, Scott, wasn't it?
Well, in all fairness, that was almost in the beginning. Like, I don't think it was that bad.
How far in were we?
About a year.
Like a year and a half, maybe?
Maybe a year. I think but then when we did Beta Boys, then we did the Beta Block. We actually expanded the show.
Yeah.
We did 2 shows.
Yes, we did.
Instead of just focusing on Destiny, we now did
I think that
Destiny and
the Beta
more.
Block came a lot later, though. No,
I don't know. You'd have to look at the official timeline.
Yeah, if I'm remembering correctly, it came not long after because we were still just talking Destiny, and then we expanded to more of a broad like nerd culture podcast instead, where we talked about like Marvel and things like that.
Interesting. It was such a good time, though. Let me backtrack to actual vanilla Destiny, though. What did you guys think of just Destiny as a vanilla item, as a vanilla game where we didn't have any expansions yet? What were your, and I don't know, Scott, you might be able to talk to this about how do people look back on a vanilla Destiny today? Or do people just not even know it because a lot of people today haven't played vanilla Destiny? So what are the differences? What did you think of vanilla compared to today?
It's a multi-layered question there, Andy.
I'm very multi-layered.
I do think that people still reference vanilla Destiny in a favorable way, but I mean, it goes both ways, right? Like sometimes people talk shit, but I think most of the time people are nostalgic for it. And I'll tell you, I remember loving it. I thought it was amazing, and I remember being, happy with doing the where you go around and grab all the chests. Like chest farming, for God's sake. Like that was enough to keep me going. Like to me, like Destiny was something that it was a type of game or a type of experience that I had never had before. I've never was a WoW person or a raider, anything like that. Previous to that, I just played single player games. And when Destiny dropped, especially when the Vault of Glass came out, it changed everything. Like seriously, like I'm still addicted to Destiny because of the Vault of Glass, I think. And I think
the loot cave. Genzo remembers the loot cave.
Yes, the loot cave where he just shot into a cave. Yes, that kept me going because it was so different at the time. It really was different for me, at least. And I think, I do think that the marketing was a little suspect. They did seem to promise things that didn't happen.
I'd say,
like Adam said, that it's like they were supposed to be like an MMO, but to me, somebody that had never played an MMO, really, it was enough of an MMO that I was satisfied.
So
was
it really an MMO though? Could we really consider it an MMO? By the way, right now I'm playing a little film from one of our Try Hard Fridays. It looks like we were playing Crucible that night. which was something everyone that we did every Friday night. We did something called Tryout Fridays. Believe it or not, in the early days of YouTube live streaming, we were like using YouTube live stream when it first came out. And we would just do Tryout Fridays. And it looks like this is when we were playing Crucible. We have all this old footage of us playing together. I loved Vanilla. I also loved Crota's Run. Like the second expansion to me was still Vanilla Destiny in my eyes, like Crota's Run or whatever they called it was still to me.
Not Crota's Run.
Well, Crota's Run was the raid, right?
That's right.
Dark Below was the expansion.
Yes.
And even that expansion to me was still a part of the Vanilla Destiny. What was
technically, but yes.
What was Skolas's the one?
Skolas was the Wolves was.
And it
Wolves.
wasn't a real raid yet.
Wolves.
Skolas was pretty hard. Is that right?
Well, if you remember, House of Wolves dropped, and it didn't drop with a new raid. It just dropped with Prison of Elders. But
Yep.
like, it's so funny. I was playing last night, and an old friend of ours jumped in, Ryan Wong, and he mentioned Skolas. He's like, you remember that one boss that we just like we tried to beat? It took 3 or 4 days to try and beat him, and he never beat him, and he still has nightmares about school. So that that did what it needed to do. I think
The game,
it was great enough.
Genzo says the game is a multiplayer online game, and to a degree, on scale, it was massive, so it could fit into the MMO category. I don't agree with that.
I agree.
MMO categories like World of Warcraft, they never had that kind of depth. I mean, maybe in its own right it did. I don't know.
It does now.
You
It
think
did
Yeah.
recently.
so?
You guys haven't played the fucking game. Like I haven't played,
Well,
so I can tell you this. I
is
can tell you
Dado
this,
is
that
Dado
Destiny
still
2
playing? Who's right here?
Dado.
Who we're interviewing? Is Dado
So-
still playing?
I'm actually sitting. That is, as you see Dado right there. I am sitting on the very couch we interviewed Dado on. I have not watched it.
If anyone
I
doesn't
think
know,
that's-
Dado was one of the early, I would say, he started doing a lot of like informative videos on YouTube for Destiny. Now he live streams too. I see him on Twitch a bunch now.
He's made a career out of it, man. He
Oh.
still does. Yeah, he moved to Seattle. He's getting married.
He's getting
He is.
married? No
Yeah,
way.
bro.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
Were
a
you
lot
surprised-
happier
were
than
you surprised?
he was back
Well, I
then.
remember he posted a video on why he was moving and how sad he was about moving. You do see a ton of people in tower. The fields do have several instances for load balancing like WoW does. All right, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Do you remember this trailer we made because we wanted to do our own TV show? So we did this like in the matter of like a couple of days. We put together.
Well, to tell that story, we had wanted to expand ADP, and we wanted to do ADP 2.0.
Yeah.
And actually, this bit is pretty funny. Where
Here,
Adam,
let me play this bit.
which is pretty fun.
Adam, you remember this?
I do.
We don't pay him not to be here,
I still
we go.
have
but we do pay him.
scratches.
Wait, we don't pay him to be in the field
Yeah.
right now. In fact,
Let me play
we're
this
going
clip.
to him live right now. Destiny 2's coming out. He's got the exclusive scoop out there on Mars. Heading to Mars right now. Adam the intern, how you doing out there, buddy?
Thanks, Scott. Thanks, Andy. I'm here
Oh,
on
man.
Mars for an exclusive interview with the one and only
good times.
Dallas to Art. He's right over
Good
here.
Remember when we shot that? That was
I
great.
still remember shooting that. That was a very interesting. That was my first time doing something like that, actually, and that was very fun. I got to be honest.
Yeah, and I mean, we were so close to like, I was working for that Wham network, and I mean, you know what's really funny, Scott, now that we look back on it? You know what was one of the most successful rerun episodes for us? Because we used to play Beta Boys Media on there. The Angry Video Game interview had some of the highest ratings on Wham networks like stream that would play 24 hours a day. For some reason, our Angry Video Game Nerd interview would have the highest spikes.
I mean, there's not some reason. I mean, he's a famous YouTuber.
Yeah, just like us.
Yeah, no, not at all. You know,
Wait,
what's
were
funny
we on
about that
YouTube?
is that to this day, people still comment on that video, and they're still assholes about it.
I know there's some
Talking shit
trolls.
to a guy the other day. He was talking shit. And I was,
What, on our video? On our old video?
Yeah.
That's funny.
What's weird is, and this just speaks to my character, I'm too fucking lazy. All my YouTube is like signed into Beta Boys. So
Oh,
like
really?
whenever I watch YouTube on my TV or whatever, it's signed into Beta Boys. So
Jeez, look how young we
I still
were.
get the push.
Look how young we were. Just like little children. That's crazy.
How what was that? 4 years ago?
This was like 4 or 5. I mean, I think we're coming close to 5 years ago now, man.
It's on 6, right?
No, it can't be 6.
16, I mean.
Can it?
Sorry, 16.
Can it be
16?
6? Oh man, that'd be cool.
How
Might have
many
been 16
total
or
episodes?
17?
So I wanted to show you
100?
guys something I found, which is really interesting. So, on Reddit, there's this post called "Massive Breakdown of Destiny Podcasts" with descriptions and links to iTunes, blah 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 blah. So this guy has the current running podcasts going, and he has a whole list of all these current running. But here's what's really cool: you go down to here, no longer recording or on an indefinite hiatus, and guess who's number 3? We have the 3rd most episodes for a Destiny podcast ever, behind the 2 original vanilla shows with us, which was Guardian Radio with 279 episodes, and they started, their last episode was in 2018. They're gone. Destiny,
Jeez.
the show, we all remember Destiny, the show, 222 episodes, and they stopped in 2018. And look at this. They got us here.
131?
31 episodes, guys. And we ended on 11/1/2017. Every Wednesday, Andy and Scott venture forth.
More than that, but I guess I'm counting Beta Boys.
But-
Beta.
What's really cool is that these 3, if you guys remember, we were the first of 3 that were the first Destiny podcast. Guardian Radio, a Destiny the show, and then it was us. Then they had like Crucible Radio come, and a bunch of other podcasts started popping up. But we were technically, and it's really cool that this guy broke all this down. Look at this. But look at all the old podcasts that are no longer, like some of the best ones, like Guardian Radio's gone.
Yeah.
Destiny the show's gone. Destiny Tracker, Ghost Stories.
What we did a little better and a little differently is that we did skits. We had a lot of more fun with our show than the other ones were. I remember trying to listen to Guardian Radio and falling into a coma because it was so fucking boring. So I feel like our show was always a little bit more fun, a little bit more zany. We had guest Zer. We
did
a lot of like out there. I was thinking of there was a skit that we did that was the Destiny Diner. It was funny.
I wish we
and to
still
this
had-
day,
I can't find that one.
it would be in the description, I would imagine. But I mean, to this day, when playing Destiny, we still make jokes about the Destiny Diner.
I think your Eris sings the hits was the best one.
That's funny.
That was a good one.
Funny.
That was a very good one.
And
I missed our special episodes, like our Christmas episodes. We did the Star Wars episode, but I think that was Beta Block. But we did these really.
Oh man, I forgot about
we were
that.
comical, and we didn't take ourselves too seriously, and we would say "F you"
Well, it
to
was the
Bungie all the time if we were
It was the
upset.
casual
And
Destiny.
remember, I was upset about
Yeah.
storage
Very
for,
casual.
for like forever. Like, remember
The
there was
vault?
like a shortage on how much you could keep on your Guardian or in the vault for like ever
In
for
the
like
vault, yeah.
three
It's like
for,
200
for a while, right?
Yeah.
But they think they finally updated that, and I stopped crying.
They did. Now it's like 500. But
my
I think
gosh.
what happened, I mean, to tell the full story of a Destiny podcast is that we were hyped. We were super hyped for D2.
We
Like,
were.
I remember we were all really stoked. And then the beta came out and we're like it's just more. At the time, I remember, Andy was obsessed with wanting to fly his ship.
I know,
Wouldn't
and they
shut
wouldn't.
the fuck up about
They
it.
wouldn't ever let us fly the ship.
Well, I'm not gonna dig up those old skeletons, Andy. But but I remember when D2 dropped, and it just was not. But like we were pretty salty about it because all this stuff that they had promised for so many years, it just wasn't coming true.
Right.
And eventually, the show just kind of fizzled out. We kind of ran out of stuff to talk about. And I think what happened, and like I think people still talk about this, is that like essentially everybody played everything and then had nothing to do in the game, and then there was a mass exodus. There really was.
But now it's doing better, right? Now people.
Well, they've changed like over the time. Like, so we all quit at the same time, I think, and
Yeah, roughly.
I hadn't touched it in years until COVID happened,
Right.
and then my job went away. The entire industry, TV, film industry went away, and so I was like, shit, what am I going to do? Guess I'll just play Destiny again. I loaded it up, and I'll tell you what, a couple, like, what was that, 7 months ago or whatever?
Yeah.
Now Beyond Light is out, things are different. But when I jump back on, like, Destiny truly was an MMO. Huge, gigantic. There's like 20 planets. It was insane. Like, there was like 9 raids. And now things are a little different. The new, Beyond Light just came out.
What is, I have Beyond Light, the trailer playing right here. What is Beyond, like, what is so great about Beyond Light since it just came out?
And what's kind of going on in the Destiny community right now is that they sunsetted a bunch of guns. Like, a lot of guns are in the Destiny content vault. They also vaulted a lot of content as well. They got rid of like 4 or 5 planets. Like 5 raids are gone now.
Okay.
They basically cut the game in half and like took it out, and then they added in 25%. So, in all fairness, it's streamlined the game a lot more now. And what they're doing is like they're doing more of a, it's almost like weekly now, where there's new content coming out every week. To try, because what's going on is that they're trying to satiate all the people that would previously just play everything up front and then complain and be like, I have nothing to do. Well, people are leveling their butts off right now to get ready for the raid, which drops. So what they're doing is they're learning, right? So now the raid doesn't come out until the 21st, 2 weeks after the new expansion. So they're not letting everybody play everything up front. They're like dripping it. They're breadcrumbing it.
Hey, Biff,
and actually,
what's up?
It's a lot better that way, if you ask me.
Let me ask you this, and Genzo says the one thing that bothers me is that you can fast track to level cap. Now, one thing that used to bother me about Destiny, and I want to know, is that still a part of it, is the stress of getting the same level as your friends, the stress of being able to be at the right level for a raid. Like, I always felt like Destiny had that stress. That, like, if you're not working on your character, then you're behind and people judge you. Destiny used to do that. Like, people would make you feel bad. Even if they were joking, they'd make you feel bad. Yeah, everyone judged me. Oh, I can't believe you're at this light, Andy. What the...
I mean, but that's Destiny. I don't know. I mean, that's part of it.
Is that still a part of it, though? Like, people just make people feel bad because their light is lower?
I don't know
and they have jobs?
I think you're projecting. I don't know.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's ever done that.
I gotta say, I've never been on the butt end of that joke right there. I was always of light.
Yeah, well, maybe Andy, maybe you're just
towards the end there. I was not of light because I wasn't playing it as much. But I thought that
you're right. There was there was a huge situation where people would be, the LFG, you're looking for guardians, you're looking for people to play with, and then there would always be a stipulation like must be X amount of light, must have Gallowhorn, must have Icebreaker, and all of these like requirements to join somebody's group. And that was one of the biggest like complaints in the community, was people being like, I don't have all of that, so I can't even play. And it's like, to me, those complaints were coming from, obviously the people that had a reason to complain. I definitely did not. I think by the time Destiny 1 ended, I had accumulated like 17 Gallowhorns or something stupid. It was ridiculous. I was getting them left and right. So I never had to deal with the not being able to find a group. But there were those groups that were like, yeah, we don't want you to join us.
Yeah, because you don't have there was
this,
like
if you're not this. Yeah,
discrimination for people who didn't have the Gallowhorn. And remember the
Crimea River?
No, but I'm just telling you, these were stigmas that existed, man.
Yeah, they definitely did.
Get good. I don't know.
So
that's what I'm saying.
Play Rocket League or something.
My particular memory of a discrimination in this game was the Crota's Run. You would get to the end. Crota's End.
Run. I don't know.
Whatever. Crota's End. It was years ago. It was like 2015. All right. It's like 2020.
Yeah, it was Crota's End. Yeah.
So Crota's End, at the very end, when we would go fight Crota, you would have to have a Gallahorn, but the people who didn't have the Gallahorn would have, you'd be like, do you guys have Gallahorns? I'd be like, no, I have a Hunger of Crota. All right. Your Hunger of Crota is okay.
Okay, well, I don't know. You guys keep talking about this like this is a bad thing.
It
is
was
something.
a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. That's why Destiny is so good, and that's why.
I don't think it was a bad thing.
What you have, what you look like. It's the reason why people play Destiny and they level up is so that they can feel more powerful than their friends. That's the whole point. Is like, oh, look at me, I'm super powerful and I can kick major ass.
Yep.
And like it's a power fantasy. That the game is based all around the power fantasy of kicking a lot of ass.
Yeah,
and the more you
I
play
agree
the
with
game, the better the shit you get. And like for instance, like my buddy Ryan just jumped back on the game. Well, I have like this sparrow that he can't get. I have this gun that he can't get. I have a whole bunch of stuff that he can't get, and of course I have fun showing him. Be like, oh, look at this. It's one of those things where if you take that aspect away, then you have Overwatch, and it's just everybody is the same, and it's boring. Yeah. It's boring. Like MMOs are they? Do you think WoW would exist without having specific like loot to chase and levels to chase? That's how MMOs are.
Biff says, I want my horn, RNGesus, send me the horn. We used to pray to RNGesus at night. Before a raid, you'd all put your heads down and be like, RNGesus, please award me the Gallahorn tonight. Like, it was really crazy. The Fatebringer 2 was one we should mention, was a hand cannon in Vault of Glass that was sought after, and you could only get during, what was the section you can only get the Fatebringer? What was the name of that?
That was during the robot.
And right here you see the
the Oracles.
The Oracles, yeah.
Right before the Oracles.
Yeah.
It was before the Oracles. It was in the same stage, though.
Wait, what was it
same
called?
Stage as the Oracles. It was that big, what are they called?
Yeah, I can't remember
the Hydra, the Hydra thing.
That being said, they are bringing back the Vault of Glass.
Which is great.
Again?
It's coming back, yeah.
It's coming back, because they brought it back in Destiny 2. So it's coming back again?
They didn't bring it back in Destiny 2, not the Vault of Glass, not yet.
They absolutely did. Before all the extra expansions, after the first year, they brought back the Vault of Glass and a few other raids as well.
I have the Vault of Glass playing right now. This is the section.
If that's true.
Oh man, what a great raid!
It was before COVID.
What I've done is I've gone back and played all the old raids recently. Actually, I booted up D1. We went through all of them.
That's awesome.
And Vault of Glass still holds up to this day. And not only that, but what they're doing is they're going to update it. Like essentially, there's some new like mechanics in the game.
Okay.
Different enemy types that they're going to put in there. But I think
cool.
that like really when it comes down to it, is the Vault of Glass was like the killer app for the game. That's what like really hooked me. And I think that's what really hooked a lot of people. That was the first raiding experience.
Here it is.
And I'll never forget that, man. Like I used to.
I remember
that was what hooked me, and to this day, like I continue to like chase raids.
One of my favorite moments, I think, playing Destiny, Scott, was the first time I did Vault of Glass, and when the doors open and you see Atheon for the first time, that was a big deal. I remember you particularly saying, "There he is." And like, I just remember how amazing it felt to just keep doing this, shooting the oracles. I was an oracle guy. I was always at the task of shooting the oracles with my. I was a Titan, and you remember that purple void machine gun or the heavy machine gun that we would use? I forget, and it would do really good on the oracles. It had like an oracle buff. I forgot the name of it.
I remember the gun. I forget the name of it as well.
Do you know what I'm talking about? There was a heavy machine gun that worked really well on the oracles, and I forgot the name of it.
Yeah,
but I think that. Do you think, Scott, since you've been playing it, is it still the Vault of Glass is like the holy grail of raids? Like it was hitting all cylinders at the time?
Maybe. I mean, the thing is that the raids have gotten more difficult and more complex over the years. And I think like what's nice
in a good
about Vault of
way or
Glass,
a bad way?
Depends. I mean, like it depends. Like if you like some people like really needed that challenge, right? And not just to like, do a harder version where the enemies are harder, but to have more mechanics.
The puzzles and stuff.
Yeah. Don't forget about the Taken King.
Taken King was more puzzle oriented,
which is more puzzle oriented. Like which I did it about a month ago, and it's still like super mechanics heavy, but it's not like overboard. You know what I mean?
Right.
And to this day, I feel like the consensus in the Destiny community is that the raid, The Last Wish, which came with Forsaken, is the best of all time.
The Last Wish.
Last Wish. And Last Wish, I've done it at least 5 times now, and it is really good.
Well,
but it's super fucking long, and 2, that no one, like, everybody cheeses the boss, and no one actually does the boss. So it's like, I don't know.
see.
Everybody says Last Wish is the best, and they don't even do the boss. So I don't know.
what do you mean they don't even do the boss? Hey, Mr. Flight, what's up?
No, you like, legitimately, with this boss, right? It's called Riven. It's a giant dragon. And, like, the actual boss fight is incredible, where if you see it, like, if you watch a video of it, you'd be like, oh my god, this is pretty amazing. It's
So
like,
wait, the Last Wish boss fight? Last Wish, Destiny.
But what people do is that, like, if you go into one room, his big ass foot pops down, and people just swipe it with swords and kill him.
Little in an ironic way, right?
Ironically small compared to the rest of his body.
Jesus.
But it's like super cheesy. It's just cheese, straight cheese. And
So is that still going on? Are they?
Yeah, they haven't fixed that cheese yet, which is crazy. They're fixing a whole bunch of bugs right now, but they haven't done that. So I guess maybe they might know that Last Wish is too long. It really is too long.
And then it says play that. Joan says my poor hunter is very neglected. Makes me want to get back to him. Aw. Yeah. You got to really give him some love. Play.
Well, what's going on now is Beyond Light just came out, which is the newest expansion.
Yeah.
After a lot of hype, and what they've done, the big news now is that there's a new subclass. So instead of the 3 subclasses, there's a new one called Stasis.
Stasis, that's right.
Like freezing and ice type of thing. Supposedly the darkness. The Exo Stranger is back, believe it or not. Since D1, the Exo Stranger is finally back in the story.
Does she have time to explain yet, or
she's explaining a lot?
She has no time to explain.
This time she has time to explain, but I don't.
She couldn't even explain why she couldn't explain. That's how little time she had back then.
0 time, but now she's got plenty of time.
That's good. COVID, we all got time because of COVID.
My best was Dinklebot. Like his lines were classic.
I miss Dinklebot so much.
You remember when everyone used to hate on Dinklebot, but then when he left, everyone was so sad that he was gone?
I liked him from the jump, man. I was mad when they changed him. What is it, Nolan North, I think, is the one?
Yeah, they went with Nolan North. It was like
the Nolan bot. I mean,
we've awakened the hope.
He's great. Don't get me wrong. He does a fantastic job. But there was something about hearing, that Dinklebot that was just Peter Dinklage. He's a phenomenal actor. Maybe not the greatest voice actor, but hearing him in the game, it was like kind of like a sigh of relief. Like, oh man, this is some high budget, high quality stuff here. Because I mean, you got to think about it. During that time is when Peter Dinklage was blowing up with Game of Thrones and all that other good stuff. He just
started blowing up. Yeah, he was still big, but he was just starting. I don't think they could afford him anymore. That was what happened. They could not.
That's too bad.
No one really quite knows what happened.
Hey, what's up, Dance Floor? Good to see you, man.
I don't know if you've heard, but they killed off Cade in Forsaken.
They killed Cade? Cade's dead?
That's one of the main reasons I left. I'm going to be honest.
Cade is dead?
One of the main reasons I left.
Well, believe it or not, it was like one of the the first times that there was any decent story in the damn game.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually killing off one of the best characters, and I think it might have been a similar situation where they couldn't pay Nathan Fillion anymore.
Maybe
his star was rising.
Yeah, so Bungie's just like, let's just kill him. Screw it. Let's get rid of them.
Confluence.
Well, I have an interesting list here, Scott, and you might be able to help me with this. This is, or wait, hold on. I had a list of the greatest Destiny raids of all time, and I want to see if it's accurate.
Yeah, believe it or not, I have done all the raids now. I actually a couple weeks ago, we were trying to get, because Bungie was like in because of Beyond Light dropping and a bunch of raids going away, they were offering, if you did all of the raids, you could get a raid ring. You could get the silver ring, and you could buy it.
What?
And it turned into one of those things where you'll probably remember JoJo. JoJo and I were like, we got to get that fucking ring. So I ended up jumping in a group with this guy that was like speeding his balls off on Adderall. This guy was like, he's like, we're gonna do it, guys. We're gonna fucking do it. And like, he's like, it was insane. And like, they were cheesing everything, and we went through like 2 hours. And I was
did you say under an hour?
I almost peed in the sink again. I was like, oh my god.
I remember
God.
you peed in the sink because we were so busy with the raid. You had to pee in the sink.
Yep, that's a classic story.
Jesus.
Okay, so Scott, question though. Genzo says, what are your guys' take on the multi-platform account merging?
So, it's fine. I mean, I think
That's wonderful.
I think it's great. Like, if you still can't, like, it's not cross-platform yet though. Like, you
will it
can't
ever go
play-
cross-platform? You think?
I don't know if you can with a game like Destiny, right? Like,
Why?
because
Well,
for
they
instance, like PC players have a market
Yeah.
advantage over console players.
So with the PC thing, we are bridging that gap. So for example, I mentioned it earlier, we're bridging that gap, but like mouse and keyboard does have a certain advantage. But with the controllers like this, like the Elite controller, you have the paddles in the back, so now you have more access to using all of your fingers. That's one of the advantages that mouse and keyboard has, is you can use more fingers to do more things.
Right.
And obviously you have your arm to aim instead of just your thumbs. So that is an advantage, but where they're bridging that gap is with aim assist.
Huh.
So Call of Duty is currently, I mean, we all know Call of Duty is like first-person shooters. It is the first-person shooter. It's cross-platform. You can play PC, you can play PlayStation, you can play Xbox. And the way that they were able to make it fair, more fair, is controller does have a slight aim assist, whereas on PC it's got more of a how do you say?
Well, Destiny
Consistency?
Crucible always had a lot of stigmas about aim assist. I remember, like, oh, you think you're so good in Destiny because of aim assist. I'm like, they can go. I think that's the stupidest bullshit I've ever heard. And by the way, Biff says to you, Scott, pro gamers have a piss bottle. Legendary gamers use a pissing sink.
I will take the mantle of legendary gamer. I appreciate it.
Sometimes you gotta piss in the sink to meet Atheon. It's true. No, but Adam, those are good points. But I do think that the whole stigma around aim assist bullshit is stupid.
Well, you're mischaracterizing it. The reason why people have a stigma against aim assist is because it assists your aim. That's why people don't like Destiny and don't do competitive. That's why there's like very little competitive in Destiny, is because they assist your aim. Unlike more than a lot of games.
Yeah.
That's a fair statement. I would say it's a fair statement, but I think they're referring to, with their question they were asking, they're referring to the cross save mechanic. So, for example, if you have a PlayStation, your account, all of the loot and things that you have, you can transfer over to, say, Xbox. So, for example, back in the day when we would record our Destiny podcast, there's not a single day that we've ever played together.
Yeah, I know. To this day,
to this day, we never played together.
We never.
No,
played
that's
with
more like you, Adam. We never played with you.
It's true. It's
Scott
very
and I
true. We've
played
never.
together.
That's what you just said.
Oh, okay.
You two play together, but
Yeah.
we as a whole, me included in the we never played together, which it's mostly my fault because I had Xbox. You guys both had a PlayStation, so I was the odd man out, right?
Right.
Right.
But with the cross save situation, I could get a PlayStation, have all of my loot transfer over, and then I don't have to do that whole grind all over again.
Right.
That was why I never got it on PlayStation, because I was like, man, I'm not about to do this grind all over. Because Andy, you had an Xbox as well.
I did, but I wasn't about to just like, oh my god, go into Xbox and start
Exactly.
grinding. It was just such a
Right.
grind.
That's right.
Literally what he just said. And
That's
said,
why.
so Adam, does that mean that you're getting a PS5?
So, I have been contemplating whether or not I want to do so, and my decision is I want to play the Spider-Man game. I played God of War for the first time during this COVID thing. I think I just beat it in June, and I gotta say, I know why it won Game of the Year in 2018.
Oh, dude,
that
God of
game
War
is
was so good.
phenomenal. Oh my god, I started tearing up from the beauty of it. It was so good. So I'm definitely gonna get a PS5. I need to play Ragnarok. I need to know what happens next. And there's so many games. There's another game I think it's called like Kena or Kina. It's gonna be like it's got a very Zelda-esque feel to it, but the graphics look like Pixar made it, and
Okay.
that game looks so dope. If you guys haven't seen the trailer to it, it's called Kena or Kina, Kena. It looks so
Quinoa?
good.
Like quinoa, like the food?
I don't know. Kena.
Come on.
There's no W. Where's the W at? What do you mean?
All right.
So what you're saying is that you're gonna play Destiny again.
All right,
Wait, what?
Scott, you're going to be able to
Yes.
speak to this. Game Informer did a list of the best raids of all time in a rank. So number 10, they put Spire of Stars. I don't know anything about Spire of Stars. Can you give us a little background on Spire of Stars? Is it worth?
I mean, I would disagree with this list already because Crown of Sorrow was the worst raid I've ever played.
Well, number 9 is Eater of Worlds, which I never heard of.
So Spire Eater. Of course, you haven't heard of them. You haven't played the fucking game.
I know. I'm just saying. You're supposed to tell us.
Are you gonna read each name and like I've never heard of this?
Yes.
So
Just into the bottom 3.
Eater, Spire, Crown they were raid layers. They actually were part of the Leviathan, believe it or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they added to the Leviathan. And what's crazy is I don't know how people don't list Crown at the bottom because Crown was so fucking hard. It was so hard. It was by far the hardest raid I've ever done.
What about Scourge of the Past?
Scourge was fun, man. Scourge was a lot of fun. That was like,
Looks cool.
as you can see with that picture, like you were running along. It's like very Spider-Man. You're running along rooftops.
That's
There's a
dope.
whole like map reading mechanic. There was a tank mechanic, and there was sparrow racing in that raid.
And then
That's fun.
Crota's End is 7 on this list. Crota's End is 7.
That's fair.
You think so?
Well,
Yeah,
Crota was super buggy, and
It was short,
super
too.
short, but like when we
It was
first
fun,
played it,
though.
it was incredibly hard.
So hard. Number 6 is Leviathan, which you said those other ones are extensions of Leviathan.
They are, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Real quick to touch a little more on Crota's End. It was only difficult because of the bugs. Once they
Right.
kinked out the bugs, that raid wasn't difficult at all. It was hard because Crota would glitch. You
Right.
would be swinging at him, and then he'd stand up out of nowhere and just wipe your whole team, and he'd appear right in front of you.
Yep.
It was so glitchy that the community literally had to pull an Ethernet cable
Right.
out to freeze him in place so that we can finish it. I remember
That's
a time
classic.
with my buddies, we were running, and then we had one of our friends who he was always the Ethernet ejector. He would take his Ethernet cable out. We would hold and wait for him inside of the room until he loaded back in to our raid, and then we would finish him off. We had no choice though
Remember-
because it was unplayable at
Remember
that time.
when you would do a raid and you'd have like 5 people and then like one person would join in at the very end and then get rewarded right when you beat it? Like they would join, like that happened a few times where we'd just beat it, someone would join it and get the reward. Oh man, those are the days. So number 4 is Vault of Glass is number 4 on this list. Number 4.
Oh, they're
I
wrong.
agree.
They're already wrong.
Number 3 is Last Wish, which is the new one, right, Scott?
Oh, that's the one you
Who
mentioned.
made this fucking list?
Game Informer.
It's a
What are they gonna have
Game
number one?
Informer is owned
do
by
Rapid
GameStop,
Machine,
guys.
They're gonna have
Game
Rapid
Informer
number one.
is literally
Wrath of
owned
the
by
Machine was
GameStop.
not all that great. I
Oh
didn't.
my
I
God.
guarantee you they're gonna put it at number one. Oh no,
Number 1 will be.
then they've got.
It's got to be Taken King.
It's got to be, and I agree with
That's
that.
the only
I,
one left.
I actually think
No.
Taken King
Not
is
it's got to
great.
be like it should be. I mean, it's the only one that's left, but it is not the best one. Not in
Vault
my
of Glass
opinion, at
should be
least.
1. I think
I agree with
I
that.
think Taken King is number 2 for sure. I love the Taken King.
That- That one was a good one, but without having played all the other ones like Scott, I can't really speak on which other ones of these
Sure
new
you
ones are
can.
good.
Sure you can.
Well, I mean, I can speak
No.
on it on a biased perspective, right? Because I came from the beta, just like you guys. I was playing Destiny since
Yeah.
the beta. I had a Warlock. I've literally only had a Warlock my entire Destiny career.
Same.
And Scott, I actually saw that you're playing Warlock again. There was a time there where you had cheated on us. You went to Titan.
I had all 3 at some point.
Mm-hmm. You were maining a warlock originally, right?
Yeah,
if
I
I'm
always
remembering
made
correctly.
Warlock, but like in D1, at one point we were playing so much that I had the other characters.
Yeah.
I either don't have the time or I don't have the love for the grind like I used to. I don't do that no more. But I always main Warlock, always.
It's the best one, but Andy, if I'm remembering correctly, you were a Titan main, right?
I was a Titan for life. Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely
you
Titan.
were a Titan main.
Yeah.
It's okay. I think I remember the one thing I do remember is that we could all, even though we had our differences, Andy was a Titan, I was a Warlock, and then Scott, you were a Warlock, but you were playing Titan for a while when the sun thing came out. I don't recall exactly, but there was a time where you were like, I might like Titan better, so you were on the fence on that one. But we could all agree that hunters suck. I think there was a moment where we all agreed, yeah, hunters ain't it, bro.
I never enjoyed playing other characters as much as I just enjoyed playing the Titan. I don't know. I just liked playing the Titan. It was my thing. It was my jam. Guys, this has been awesome. It's been good to see you guys. We got to do this again.
Sure.
I'm sorry we had audio issues, but I'm glad we fixed that, and we could walk through memory lane. I want to know from you guys, what was your favorite part of doing a Destiny podcast for as long as we did? We did it for like 4 years. So what was your takeaway, just to end the show today? What was your takeaway on doing a podcast around a game like this? Scott, let's go with you first, buddy.
Go with Adam first.
All right. Well, I got to be honest. I started off as a fan. I found you guys because I was such a fan of Destiny that all I wanted to do all day long was indulge myself and just ingest Destiny into my veins. Right. So I was watching YouTube videos. When I was at work, I couldn't watch YouTube videos. So I was listening to podcasts, and I always looked for it. And I remember the first time I looked for a podcast, the first podcast I actually found was Guardian Radio. And then from there, I listened to every single podcast that was Destiny related. I listened to like 3 episodes of it, right? Just so I can get a feel for them. There were quite a bit out there. I think there was like 10 of them total when I started listening. But the only ones that really captivated me was yours, Nerfed, Guardian Radio, and there was another one that
Destiny the Show. Destiny Show was out. That was good.
Oh, Andy?
Yeah, Destiny the Show.
Hello?
What about like Giant Bombcast or something like that?
I think my audio just bummed out. Oh no!
I can hear you.
I hear you. We hear you.
Well, he said his piece anyway.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Right. So I'm back.
We
can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. Sorry about that. Yeah. So I had a really good time doing it, man. When I found you guys, I was really excited to listen to your podcast, because it wasn't so try hard. It was more casual. You guys were having more fun with it, so I really enjoyed that. And
we had a great time, man.
It was fun. And when I messaged you guys on I believe on Twitter that day, I was like, hey guys, I just want to let you know you did get something wrong, but hey, don't even trip, because your podcast is so enjoyable.
Oh yeah, we used to get shit wrong all the time.
We were not the source of reliable information. But then I do remember Andy bringing that up, and I was like, yeah, it would probably be good to have somebody on the show that knew what the fuck they were talking about.
Yeah, I remember hearing that on the show. You guys mentioned that, so I was like, hey, by the way, if you guys are serious, what's up? And then, it was really kind of you guys to welcome me and to let me and allow me to join you. It was honestly some of the best years that I had as a gamer.
It was
just
great.
Meeting people. Destiny, I met so many of my closest friends today through Destiny, including you guys, which is, if I can take anything away from Destiny, it's the relationships and the communities that I gained from it are definitely some of the best things that came out of Destiny.
Look at this. I'm just going through old photos. Look at this photo of you, Adam, in your...
Oh, my Squirtle Squad sweater. Wow. I forgot about
you're still
that.
a Jordan fanboy, ain't you?
You know it.
My takeaway was that it was just so much fun, and after a while, though, it became, when we started to not play it as seriously, that's when it lost its gusto. But during like the hardcore, like maybe like the second, third year of this podcast, it was really great. We did a lot. We just had a lot of fun. We smoked a lot of reefer, and and we had a great time. There's us with Dado, and I'll never forget just having a great time. My favorite part about it was when we did like when it was this time of year, we were getting into Thanksgiving and the holidays, and we would do like all these fun episodes and just have a great time. And we had a really dedicated like true fan base. I mean, it wasn't huge, but we had like a lot of good people that always supported us.
I literally still hear from old fans to this day.
Well, Scott,
I remember Jeffrey Clark.
Yes, I remember Jeffrey Clark for sure.
On Facebook all the time. We talk. He's in Australia.
I showed you. I got like someone messaged me. You know, I posted about my dad, unfortunately, but like an old Destiny fan sent his regards. He's like, I've been listening to you since, Nerf the Destiny podcast. I was like, Jesus, that's fucking awesome.
That's awesome.
Still hits me up.
It's really, we'll never replicate like kind of like the experience and fun we had doing this show. I love doing this show, but this was in an earlier time of podcasting too, where it wasn't as easy to podcast. This day and age, anyone can podcast, but back then, we had to really put in the work to make it happen. So I still have
that studio too.
I would love to have you guys back. I would love to, just have you guys on the show.
Ask me for my opinion there, Andy.
Oh, did you not? Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Scott, why don't you close us out with your final thoughts, man?
Final thought.
Yeah, give me your final thoughts.
When I think back about the Destiny podcast, I only have good memories. I think we had a blast. We had a good time. I don't think we ended the show on a bad note by any means. I think like the game forced us to quit the show. That, in my opinion, like we ran out of content to talk about. We literally did, and it turned into the Destiny doldrums, and they didn't end up fixing the game for years later. So it wasn't. So I don't know. I don't like to say that like it was our fault, but I mean obviously we did choose to end it. But I mean to mirror what Adam said, I've made so many friends through Destiny. To this day I still play with them and still talk to them, and the Destiny community is still strong. The game is still good. The game's actually better than it's been in a long time. And
this is my favorite photo of us coming up. Keep going, Scott.
Oh, is that when Adam? Do you still drink that green shit?
Yeah, that was
chlorophyll. All day, man. You gotta have the chlorf.
I still have that studio too. I still rent that studio space.
Great times in there. Great times. In
there. The Destiny podcast took us to E3.
Yeah.
Definitely. We met. We got to play Taken King early. Like for a while there, for a little bit there, we were right in the pocket, and I think it is a shame that the game kind of tanked. The game's back, but it is a shame that the game tanked. But we had something special. We had a good time.
It was awesome.
And yeah, I just only have good memories of it. I've actually considered rebooting the podcast myself.
Well, that I will come on and give you commentary that I don't understand, but I will love to be a part of that somehow.
Oh, so it'll be just like old times.
That's true. Yes. That's true. No, guys, thanks so much for getting up early. I know this is early. I'm glad the audio worked out and that everyone could hear us. Love it. Scott, where can we find you, man? And tell us a little bit about your band and stuff.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter a lot. I'm always posting political shit.
Great.
It's true.
Or ridiculous commentary. You can find me on Twitter. Scott said, what? So I'm on there a fair amount. Have considered possibly doing my own podcast or something, but there's nothing concrete about that. Have a heavy metal band called Auteur. We have a debut album coming out. Looks like December.
Nice.
That's something
just in time for Christmas
as well. Yeah, just in time for Christmas. And I'll put that shit in the chat. How about
Sweet. That? Yeah, put that in the chat. And then Adam, where can we find you, man?
Well, I used to be Eternal Nightmare, and I had a whole little rap that I would do, but I'm no longer that. I have rebranded. Most places you can find me at a legendary Eevee, just like the Pokemon, spelled as is. On YouTube is somewhere that I am looking to start streaming. I normally stream on Twitch, but I am actually going to be moving to YouTube. And my YouTube thing is Sir Eevee. So if anybody wants to just enjoy some vibes, that's all I'd be doing, man. I just be vibing, you know. Nothing hardcore about it unless I start playing Call of Duty again, which it looks like I might. Things will get quite sweaty.
What do you usually play?
So right now, I'm playing NBA 2K21, which is actually a great time. Call of Duty is something that I've been playing for a very long since it dropped. Actually, I just stopped about a month ago or 2 months ago. I got a little burnt out, but with the new Cold War dropping, I'm definitely going to be hopping on that. And lately, I've actually been playing Genshin Impact. Have you guys seen anything about this Genshin Impact game?
No.
It is an RPG game. It's not MMO because you can have at most 4 people in your 4 of your friends join you, but it's very Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It has this Breath of the Wild feel to it, but it's anime characters in a Breath of the Wild game. I think is the best way I can describe it. It's a lot of fun. So I've been playing a lot of that, but my PC unfortunately is not strong enough to play that and stream. So pretty soon you'll be seeing me on the YouTubes at Sir Eevee playing Call of Duty.
Sounds good, man. All right,
Yeah.
and it's good to see you, Adam. It's been quite some time before I saw your face. So wonderful.
You had a little baby beard back last time we saw you.
I know I have a
I
beard,
did.
Adam. You probably never saw me with a beard, but I got a beard.
Hold on, let me look. Andy's beard.
What, you haven't looked at the stream?
I have, but I had the chat open, so I
Oh.
couldn't really see you on that side when I closed the chat. Oh, look at you with the scruff.
The scruffy beard.
All right. All right.
Scruffy Andy.
But yeah, I'm glad to have you guys on the show. It's been awesome. Thanks everyone in chat. We're gonna raid. As we say goodbye, we're gonna raid someone today. We're gonna raid a good friend of mine that I like to raid. He's a retro streamer. Basically, his whole thing is he's never played retro games, so he's going through he played, I think, Nintendo. Now he's on Genesis, and he's just playing games that he's never played before. His name is Hatchlord. We're gonna raid him. I want to thank Scott, Adam, dude. Thanks, guys, for getting up early in the morning and doing this with me.
Of course.
Let's do this again. You know, I talk a lot of retro topics, Scott. I know that you're very into retro collecting, so I know that you can come on.
That's true.
No, but you could talk retro gaming. You can talk retro gaming.
Because I'm old. Yeah.
We could talk about Cool Spot all day, bro.
But thanks everyone who stopped by, and I had a great time reminiscing, guys. Thanks so much. I do miss the Destiny podcast. And Scott, if you happen to bring it back, let me know. I'd love to jump on at least the first episode as a reunion. Sure. But it's great to see you guys. Have a wonderful weekend.
Likewise.
Let's raid Hatchlord, and I'll see you guys next week, next Saturday.
Late.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right, cool.